everyone, this is Crystal with another Valentine Day project. This one's called Jarhead Valentines. This project is inspired by my grandsons who wanted a Valentine card to give to his fellow friends, but did not want it to be mushy and full of a lot of hearts and stuff. So we made one for the boys and one for the girls. For this project, I used the Jar of Fun stamp set by Maymaymadeit. And I cut my stamp apart because I couldn't get that line across the bottom and the inside of the jar. I tried masking it out, I tried wiping it off, and I still would get that line. So I ended up cutting it apart, which I can put it back together and use it later if I want to. It's no big deal. So now I stamped it out on yellow cardstock and also a lid in with my black VersaFine ink, and now I'm cutting them apart. And now I'll take my black Spectra Noir marker and I'll go around the edges of it to black out the yellow areas on the other side of the line. So I'm just cleaning it up, giving it a bolder, crisp finish. And now I'll glue the lid on the top of the jar. And a little bit of the jar is peeking out from under the lid, so I will just trim back a bit of it. And then I will take my 1/2-inch circle punch I have, and I will punch out 2 circles for eyes. You could use anything you have that's an inch. You can just trace around anything will work. That you don't have to have a punch. But if you do, hey, use it. And now I have a 1.5-inch punch, and I punched a little bit of a circle, and then I punched out just a little bit further just to make a little smile. And I'm going to glue that on there next. There I have the one for the guys done. Now for the ones for the girls, I have these cute little googly eyes that have hearts in them. And so I thought I'd use those for them. And now I take my small little heart punch and I just punch out a little red heart. And then I'll take scissors and I'll trim off the point to round it, to make lips. So I will just go ahead and glue this on and get it situated. All right. And then I will take my black pen, actually my pencil, and I will mark it first. That way if I don't like it, I can always change it and erase it. That looks pretty good. So now I take my artist pen and I will draw a fine line for a mouth, and little cheeks there. And there, now the one for the girls is done too. Now I took a piece of white cardstock and I scored it in half to make a card base to put the jar on. And I'll have these measurements on my blog. I took a little bit of yellow ink and I sponged around the edges just to soften it and give it a little bit more color. And now I'm putting some foam squares on the back of this jar just to pop it up and give it a little dimension and stick it on the base of the card. And then for my sentiment, I went on the computer and I wrote, "We were built to be together." And I used noteworthy font, and I think it was 11 point was the size. And I popped it out with my punch. And now I'm sponging the edges with some yellow ink. And then I'm actually dabbing the center of it a little too, just so it will stand out on the card. And now I'm taking to and from the Stitch Shapes stamp set, and I'm lining them up on the card where I want them, and then put the block over it, and then I'll stamp it with my black VersaFine ink, and I will stamp it on there. And now I'll glue my sentiment on with my art glitter glue. There you go, it's finished. And now for the little girl, I decided that she could probably be a tag. Tried to stamp her after I had the eyeballs on, which made it kind of hard. So I put the eyeballs off the edge of the foam and I stamped to and from, and then I added the sentiment. And she could easily have a hole punched in her and have some baker's twine and turn her into a tag. And now I'm taking these little boxes that I got at the Dollar Tree. They're treat holders for weddings. And I'm just going to fold them up and make them a little box like to put all the Valentines in. And now to decorate the box, I took a square and I sponged it with some black ink, and I took my 1/2-inch circle punch and I punched out 6 circles and I sponged them with a black ink too, and then I popped them up on foam tape and I'm sticking them on the square to resemble a Lego block. And then I'm going to take the box and I'm going to take my ink dauber and I'm going to sponge yellow ink all around the box, just to give it a little bit of color, a little bit of softness. So I'll sponge on all the folded sides and around the handles. And now I'm pulling the box back together, and I'm going to take my little Lego piece and I'm going to go ahead and glue it on the front with some art glitter glue, kind of centering it on there. And then I have another little sentiment that says we were built to be together. And I cut it out as a pennant and I put it on there. And now I'm going to stick all my Lego jars in there. And then I'm going to take some black baker's twine and tie it around the handles and tie it together. And here's our little box, so you can see an up-close picture of it. And on the next picture, you'll see the 2 Legos. The one for the Lego heads, one for the guys and one for the girls. And then here's a close-up of the inside. In this next part, I'll be showing you how to make your own envelopes to fit your Valentines. All right, we did the video of making this cute little jar man face, but we didn't do an envelope for you. So now we're gonna do an envelope. And for this fella, I measure him, and I'm going to make a 3 by 4 inch envelope for him. So I got out my 1, 2, 3 punch board, and over here, move stuff over. Oh, here it shows for a 3 by 4 card, you want a 6 1/4 inch piece of paper. So I went ahead and I cut this paper. It's already 6 1/4 by 6 1/4 square. And it says to punch it at 2 3/4. So I'm gonna, guess I need a, so 2 3/4. That would be 2 3/4 would be right there. And we're going to score on line A, which is this what I do right here. Yeah, it's this one right here. And then we're going to turn it. And you'll put your groove right here. You're going to punch it. You'll come down in the center one. Your envelope A. Turn it another 90 degrees. Line up that line right there with that. Punch it again.
And we'll turn it around again for the last time. We'll punch it there. And we'll come across here. Oops. Pull this up here. Oops. Didn't get it around the line now. Okay. This is just copy paper, which is good enough for Valentine's. Like this. I'm going to, there is a corner rounder on this side right here. Just put your paper in there at the corner. There you go. Boys, I'm trying to film, and every time you call, it disrupts my filming.
All I do is keep calling you.
Yeah.
Because I seen him with the phone.
Here we go again. I'm filming, okay? Go away. There. Kind of. Corner rounders a little bit dull. Now, get the right size. You can stick your little man in there, jar man head lid. You can put a little snack. Just put a little. All these Annie's Happy Valentine's Day fruity snacks. You put one of them in there.
And if you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. And like always, my measurements will be on my blog and I will post link below. Bye for now. Happy crafting.